Welcome to the preview of Sibos 2015 to be held in Singapore between the 12th and 15th of October. My name is Joy Macknight, Transaction Banking and Technology Editor at The Banker. I'm joined by Marcus Sehr, Global Head of Institutional Cash at Deutsche Bank. Welcome back, Marcus, and thank you so much for joining us today. Given that global economic trends have a fundamental impact on global commerce and transaction banking, what trends are you seeing that are sort of having the greatest impact today?
Well, first of all, good morning. It's a pleasure being here. And as you've asked, what are the trends in the macroeconomic scene? So when we look at the major centers, we look at the US, and we see that in the US, the economy is still doing well. But if you look at the emerging markets, we see that there's a slowdown. Look at China, if you look at India, there's clearly not the growth expectations you had seen 3, 4, 5 years ago. And when you look into Europe, it's also very unbalanced. So you have a number of countries where you have some growth expectations, but also countries where you would expect that the GDP is going down. So overall, I would say the macroeconomic outlook is quite unbalanced. When you want to look at the trends which are impacting the industry, clearly the interest rates. Interest rates have been at a very, very low point since quite some time. And while there are expectations that the interest rates are going to rise towards the end of the year in the United States, the question when the interest rates are going to rise in Europe is still unanswered. And if you ask a number of macroeconomists, you will see that not even for 2016, you will have a projection where interest rates are supposed to go up. Another important factor is clearly the oil price. Oil price is going down, which has then quite some impact on the inflation expectations or even the deflation. And last but not least, the macro impacts also include regulations. And in terms of regulations, I would say we are right now in the phase of implementation after we have been in a phase of basically defining these regulations. And just to give you 2 or 3 examples, we have the intraday liquidity reporting, which comes out of Basel III. Then you have the PSD2, which impacts Europe, and clearly the EU funds transfer regulation, which also will require banks to change systems.
So today what you see is compliance is at the forefront of regulators, banks, everyone's mind. In June, Deutsche Bank said that it had announced that it had joined the SWIFT's KYC Know Your Customer Registry. What kind of benefits will that bring your clients?
I think the registry will bring a lot of benefits in a way that it's standardized, it's secure, and it also helps to reduce cost. Because what we have to do is we have to store a lot of data, a lot of documents, and if you look at this from a point of view of a client, the client probably has 2 or 3 providers, and he has to exchange the same set of documents with 2 or 3 providers, and the tool will give the clients a lot of help in order not to replicate things. So the cost of KYC will go down for everybody who is going to use this KYC registry.
So Sibos in Singapore is now less than a month away. What do you think will be the hot topics at the event?
Well, there will be a lot of hot topics at this event, and I'm always happy to go to Sibos because it's a great event in order to see a lot of clients at the same place, and it's always a very vibrant environment, and the client interaction is really something we at Deutsche Bank are really looking forward to. Clearly at Sibos there will be a number of topics. Again, it's about regulation. I mentioned PSD2, I mentioned intraday liquidity reporting, the EU funds transfer regulation. There also will be a lot of talk about disruptive technologies, blockchain, and so on and so forth. But clearly, I think it's the network effect which will be discussed at Sibos and how we can do more together as an industry. And so I'm really, really looking forward arriving in Singapore very, very soon.